Good morning. It's good to be with you all. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been wonderful having had you with us for the past 21 days of prayer. And our church, I know, and many people have been blessed as a result of that, your participation with us. So thank you so much. Today, I want to begin a new series, and I hope you'll continue with me during this series as you have in the past. But we want to talk about a great theme, the theme of forgiveness. It's a theme that runs from Genesis all the way to Revelation. It's a theme that incorporates God's forgiveness of mankind for their declaration of independence in the Garden of Eden. It's a theme that brought Jesus to earth to die upon a cross, to take upon himself the sins of the world so that we could be forgiven. And so this forgiveness rolls out from the crucifixion of Jesus right the way through to you and me today, and has enormous implications upon our own lives. So I'm hoping that you will journey through with me. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit rough. Sometimes you're going to hear things that you may think, well, geez, that's tough, but stick with me. And I know that it's going to be a blessing to you in so many ways. But it begins at a point with a conversation that Jesus had with Peter, his disciples, one of his disciples, probably one of his best friends. And Peter came to Jesus and asked a question that I think many were wanting to ask but didn't have the courage to ask it. So they probably said, hey, Peter, you're going to ask him. And this question, Peter, as bold as he was, he went and he spoke to Jesus. And this is what he asked Jesus. You read the account in Matthew 18. Then Peter came to him, that is Jesus, and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? And Jesus said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. Now, Bruce Wilkinson did a great series on this, and I'll be referring from time to time. In fact, the whole series will be kind of based upon some of the stuff that he spoke about. 70 times 7 is the name of the course. It's a great one. We're running it at the church at the moment. I hope you'll be able to join us. But I want to get the ball rolling by focusing on this conversation. Everybody's looking for a quick answer. Everybody's looking for a simple answer, and they can't find it. So when they can't find the simple answer because it's too simple sometimes, they turn to the complicated answer. And now everybody's looking for a complicated answer to the simple problems that they face in their lives. And for some people, the more complicated the possible solution or the presented solution is, the more they buy into it. It's crazy. Jesus is talking about the big one. If you just get this one thing right, people, a whole bunch of other things in your life will become easier to do or not even necessary to do. I need you to please remember that. This one thing. And the truth is, as simply as we're going to prepare them for you and present them to you, are not simplistic. They involve a lot of effort from your side, a lot of maybe heart searching, but I know you're up for it, so stick with me. In this conversation, Jesus takes this concept of forgiveness and turns it into a life-changing principle. If we could get this right, it would affect us emotionally, it would affect us relationally, that's for sure. It would affect us psychologically, it would affect us mentally. It has a rollout effect into pretty much every area of our lives if we could just learn to forgive. Now, when Peter came to Jesus and said, so Jesus, if I forgive a guy 7 times, is that good enough? Thinking, Jesus is surely going to say, you're not going to let a guy rip you off more than 7. You'll do really well at 7. Jesus blew his mind by saying, no, 7's not enough. 70 times 7. And he's not talking about a specific number here. He's talking about a principle, an attitude. Now, we will talk about often that the forgiveness thing is not as much an action as it is an attitude. An attitude is something you carry with you. An attitude is something that you live with. It's something that flows out of you. And every circumstance of life that comes gets apprehended by a particular attitude. And Jesus is telling us specifically what that attitude should look like. Now, the evidence would suggest, as I read the Bible, and as I get over the course of a good many years now, meet with people, I begin to realize the truth of this. I begin to realize the truth of forgiveness to impact so many areas of your life. the truth of forgiveness to be able to impact so many different aspects of the way you live, your worldview, and your view of people. Living and walking in forgiveness is what this is all about. So I want to speak to you a little bit about some of the track record of some of the peoples that I know this. Now, I can't be too divulgent in some of the stories I will tell of people in my office and people who I've met who've been through this, but I can point to the scriptures. Have a look at the number of people in the scriptures whose lives changed at the point of giving or receiving forgiveness. Think of Jacob. There he was running from his brother for many years until one day he could run no more. His emotions were messed. He wasn't sleeping at night. He was really in torment to this thing. And he went and found his brother. And with fear and trepidation, he presented himself to his brother and asked his forgiveness. He was never the same again. You read a story in the book of Genesis, go and find it. It's a great story of how he came to his right mind simply because of the power of forgiveness. Now, I hope that as we journey through this and you see some of the other great people in scriptures who have tasted and seen the truth of this, that maybe, just maybe, this could do the same thing for you as it has done for many, many others. The Bible is full of examples. I'll point you to a few. But you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. I hope you'll join us. Bye-bye.